As you all can see in the chat box, I've pasted few chat links wherein you first link is of syllabus link. You can just avail your syllabus by clicking on this particular link. Payment can be made by clicking on this particular link. So if you have enrolled with us, that's perfectly fine. If not yet, you have just click it on this and you can just complete your payment and you can enroll with us. Okay. So if you want to share your feedback, you can just fill this form and we'll receive your feedback. So all batch details will be available at this particular link. In case you have any query related to your course or your concern is there, you can just always send us an email, which is support@olympiadsuccess.com, or you can just drop us a WhatsApp message also on these two particular numbers, or you can give a call us also. Okay. So as we, in case you find an internet glitch, you're not able to join us back on Zoom. So you can just watch us live on Facebook also, okay? Because this demo is live on Facebook also. Okay. So you all can see a chat links in the chat box. Good evening, Winnie. How are you? Good evening, Anupama. I request Anupama to just turn on the camera. All right. So I'll not take much time. I would like to introduce your mentor now, Miss Anjali ma'am. She's a wonderful mentor. She is having a good conceptual clarity and she is very interactive with our young students, right? So all over to you, Anjali ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the beautiful introduction. Hello, everyone. Am I audible? Give me a thumbs up. Am I audible? Okay. So how are you all? All excited? Yeah. So today we'll be having a demo. So first of all, once again, let me introduce you to my let me introduce myself to you. My name is Anjali Joy, and I'm from Kerala. Currently, I'm working as a teacher in Rajasthan. And I have more than 8 years of teaching experience. Plus, for online classes, I have been taking these Olympiad success classes for now more than 2 years. So I'm all excited to start these classes. And this is not just a tutor or mentor-student relationship. This will be an experience. We'll be learning new concepts. So we'll be experiencing an entirely new concept and we'll be learning along with the real life experiences and suggestions. So it's not like usual classes, what we usually get in schools and all. So we'll be having experience of whatever we are learning. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anjali ma'am. So have you met your mentor? Right? So let me take you to the PPT now. Hope my screen is visible to everybody. You all can see my PPT, right? Okay. So as you know, Olympiad Success is India's largest online platform for Olympiad examination, which includes 8 courses, 4+ program. Subjects include mathematics, English, science, logical reasoning, communication, spoken and written, Vedic maths, and coding. It includes one-on-one online CBSE, ICSE, IGCSE, and IB classes for grades 2 to 12. One-on-one preparation classes for International Mathematics Olympiad, SESMO, SCMO, HKIMO, TIMO, Math Counts, US Common Core, Math Competition, Math Kangaroo, PRM. You can meet our rank holders on the screen. They're kids like you only, right? So you also have to work at, and your picture will also come like this. Okay, so these sessions will be a group sessions with students of around 20 and delivered by Zoom platform to our seasoned tutors. Sessions will be 3 days per week. Days will be Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Timings will be 5 p.m. till 6:15 p.m. with 5 minutes of break. The session includes a mix of theory, practice questions, doubt sessions, and discussions on previous year papers. Students will get reading material and practice questions, which will be available on the dashboard at Olympiad Success. Soon I'm going to give you a tour for the same. Students will get a free access to Olympiad. It's a success platform to practice student-wise mock tests for both maths and reasoning to as logical reasoning constitute 10 to 15% of the questions. The objective of this session is to provide introduction to the entire curriculum and give sufficient headway to the students compared to their peers. So these all are the relevant links. No need to worry. I've already pasted these links in the chat box and will again paste it in the chat box for you. The syllabus can be available at this by clicking on this particular link. The fees for this course is 8,925 rupees. There are 40 sessions in this course. Payment can be made by clicking on this particular link. The fees includes online classes, daily reading notes, and exercises, practice of previous year papers, access to Olympiad Success platform for mathematics, logical reasoning, What all you need is a laptop or desktop with good internet speed, with good camera clarity, plus headphones for better audio clarity. What all you have to do is you have to just spare 2 hours every day, right? Because as you know, Olympiad examinations are a little tougher than the regular examinations. So you have to just spare 2 hours every day. So live class is going to start from Monday. So live class is going to start from 15th of April. That is next Monday. Okay. So hope you all have seen pretty carefully because soon I'm going to ask you questions from this. Okay. So now I'll give you the tour on the dashboard. Hope my screen is again visible to everybody. What you have to do is you have to just enter this URL olympiadsuccess.com. You'll get this page on your screen wherein you have to just enter your user details. Make sure that you enter correct user details. You'll get these user details when you will enroll with us. So after entering the details, you'll get this profile page on your screen wherein you need to read these details clearly that whether these are correct. In case you find any error, you have to just rectify it over there and you can click on this update icon. Okay. So after this, you have to just click on live classes, which is right after this my referral icon. Again, you have to select your subject. In live classes, you have to just select your subject, like for which specific subject you want to see your material. So I'm going to select science, right? And again, you have to select your topic, that which topic you want to see the material. So you can see after selecting the topic, I got my material on the screen. Question papers, reading material, schedule, holiday calendar. Okay, so by schedule, you can just click it over here. Schedule will give you the clarity that in which session we're going to cover a specific topic. So you can just check it that in this session, which topic will be there. Okay. So each and every PDF is downloadable. You have to just click it over here. Click here to download the PDF and you can download this PDF. You can keep it saved in your device. This is schedule. Then there is a holiday calendar. This will give you the clarity that you should not take unnecessary leaves because already there are festival holidays. Right? So here is a reading material. Just click it over here. And you can see the picture. Right? There's a lot of reading material for you. You can see there are 7 sets, not even 1, 2, 3. There are 7 sets. Okay. 7 number set is there for you to just do the practice. Okay. So I'm just showing you that each and every PDF can easily open. You have to just click it over here and you can just see the entire reading material. And after this, you have to just click it over here to download the PDF in case you want to read it offline. And each and every PDF is having a lot of content for your practice. Detailed. Right? 7. Okay, so this was all reading material. And now I'll show you the question papers for your practice. Here are the question papers. On left hand side, there is a question paper. On right hand side, there is an answer key. But I'll advise you just take out the question paper, a printout of the question paper, solve it, and then later on check your answer. Okay, don't take out the printout of answer keys parallelly. Hello. The full paper is there for your practice. There are 6 sets of the question paper. Okay, each and every topic is having different sets. So, but there's a lot of practice for you, I must say. Okay, so here is the answer key. You can see. There's the answer key. Right? Set 4. Right? Set 4. Question paper set 5. You can see there are different types of questions, blanks, everything is there. answer key. Then again, question paper. Multiple choice questions, short questions, answer. Yes, so in live classes, you will get question papers and answer keys, reading material, schedule, and holiday calendar. So I'm going to just show you the worksheets also. There are more worksheets for your practice that you can just avail it by clicking over here in worksheets icon, which is right after this dashboard button. So just click it over here again. You have to select your subject for which specific subject you want to see. And you can see there are so many set of number, right? So I'll just show you that how you can attempt it. So I'm going to open first worksheet. I have to click it on take exam. While clicking on take exam, you will get this instruction page on your screen. You have to just read these instructions carefully that you should not commit any mistake while attempting your worksheet. Okay. So click it over here. Now you can see there are so many questions for your preferences. There are 35 questions for your practice. Okay. So you have to just attempt each and every question with full concentration. Make sure that you should not commit any mistake and you should just not think that these are the MCQ and tick mark questions. I should just click it and I move ahead. No, just read the question properly and then fill your answer. Okay. So I'll show you that how you have to move on next question. If you are done with the question one, you have to move on question two. You have to just click on next button. Again, you have to just click on next button. The moment you keep on filling your answers, you have to just keep on moving ahead on next. You have to just click on next button to move ahead for the next question. Okay. So once you're done with all your 35 questions, you have to just submit the worksheet. For that, you have to just click it on finish button. But make sure that you just review once your questions once again. That in case you find any error, you can just rectify it before submitting. But once submission is done, you will not be able to rectify your error. And one more thing, make sure that you submit your worksheet. You should not leave it like this because in case you will not submit, you will not be able to see your scores that how you have performed. Okay. So for that purpose, you have to just submit your worksheet. Sure. Yes, I have submitted, reviewed all the questions. You have to just click that icon, and this is a feedback page. You can submit it there, and you can just click on later button. So, okay, you can give the feedback. Otherwise, you can click on later button. So now I'll show you the performance that how you have attempted the worksheet, and you can see the performance. So for performance, you have to just click on this button, which is right after this worksheet button. Again, you have to select your subject for which subject you want to see, and you can check the date on which date you have attempted. You have attempted on 8th, right? So you can click on view button. After clicking on view button, you'll get performance. I have attempted 2 questions wherein one is correct, one is wrong. Okay. So make sure you can click on review button also to see which answer is correct and which is wrong and why that answer is wrong. Okay. So make sure that whenever you just solve these worksheets, you should be attentive. Okay. So in worksheets, you'll get your worksheets. In performance, you'll get to know that how you have attempted the worksheet. In live classes, you'll get the reading material, question papers, schedule, and holiday calendar. Okay. You have to just log out from here, and then you're good to go. So this is how you have to just operate your dashboard. If anybody is having any query related to the same, just drop it in the chat box. I'll be happy to answer your queries. Hurry up, kids. Otherwise, I'm going to ask you a few questions. I request everybody to please turn on the cameras because we don't allow students to sit with the cameras off. See, kids, we are already interacting online, right? So it's good. We should see each other. Without looking each other's face, how we will be able to communicate? Manish, Myra, Vian, just turn on your cameras. Okay, Vian, it's not available. Myra, turn on your camera. Anybody is having any doubt related to the dashboard or all set, all clear? Show me a thumbs up if everything is clear to you all. Everybody's clear? Okay. So tell me, what are the class days? Anupma, you have to just type it in the chat box. If you have doubt, you have to just type it in the chat box. I'll be answering your query, okay? This setting is just for today. You will not be able to communicate via vocal in demos, but in classes, you will feel to interact with your mentor. So you have question, you can just type it in the chat box. I'll answer your query. Okay, network is low. Yes, what are the class days, kids? I have shown you on PPT, right? Where class days and timings were mentioned. So just type it in the chat box. Now it's your test round. Type it in the chat box. What are your class days? Athars, Sukithan, Tanisha, Rian, Seth, Winnie. What are your class days? Ma'am, I have already enrolled for science classes, but have been able to attend any class yet. Okay. Ma'am, Mama, for that purpose, you just need to contact on this sport number. Okay. 1 second. I'll just paste that link again. You can just contact on this numbers. Okay. So they'll just answer your query. You can just send a WhatsApp message or you can call on these numbers. You have enrolled for first batch, ma'am? Okay. Yes, kids. What are the class days? Tell me.
Manish has given the answer, ma'am.
What about others?
Only
I want
Manish
to see.
remembers.
Yeah. Nice, Manish. Class days will be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and timings will be 5 p.m. till 6:15 p.m. Okay. So are you all excited and ready to go ahead with the demo, or shall I talk to you more? Because I cannot see any enthusiasm on the face. Show me thumbs up on the screen if you all are ready to go ahead with the demo with your mentor. Then I'll just take an exit and I'll allow your mentor to just go ahead with you. Ready? Okay. All over to Anjali, ma'am. I think they're ready to go ahead. In case they ask any query, I'll answer their queries.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, so shall we start? All excited? But I can't find excitement on your faces. Can you see my screen? Is my screen visible to you all? Thumbs up? Yes? No? Give me a second. Yeah, now is it visible? Is my screen visible to you all? Okay, so what is the name of today's chapter? What are we going to learn today? We are going to learn about the plants. Have you studied something regarding plants? Any idea? Okay, Vinny is saying no. No, Vinny, are you not able to see my screen? Yeah. Tanisha, so what have you learned about plants? Any one important topic or any one important point that you remember regarding plants? So Kirtan is also saying no. Uh, so Kirtan, anything that you remember regarding plants? About chlorophyll, very good. So Sukirtan remembers something called as chlorophyll. So can anyone tell me what is chlorophyll? And why is it so important that Sukirtan still remembers that we have learned? We have learned that chlorophyll is what? A green colored pigment, right? That is why leaves show green color. Very good. So Anupama remembers something regarding photosynthesis. So photosynthesis is again an important topic. Whenever we talk about plants, the first thing or the first chemical equation that comes into our mind is photosynthesis, right? Photosynthesis means only green plants are able to prepare their own food in presence of light. That is why the name suggests photo. Photo refers to light and synthesis means combine. So green plants are only able to prepare the food. And we are all depending on them, right? Stomata. Very good, Athar. So Athar remembers something called as stomata. And how is it important, Athar? Any idea? And what is stomata? Any idea? Yeah. So Vinny, we have already discussed chlorophyll, the green color, which is actually holding or trapping the sun's rays. Photosynthesis, the process by which they prepare the food. And then stomata. Stomata are the small pores, tiny pores or holes we can say present on the leaf surface, which will allow exchange of gases. So they are like openings, right? They are like gateways which allow or entry or exit. Germination, right? When we talk about seeds, germination is the term that comes into our mind because the seed has to grow into a new plant. That process is called as germination. Okay, so more or less these will be the topics of today's lesson. So let's begin with our first slide. So we will be learning about structure of plant, like how exactly, whether it is in a tree or a shrub or a herb or a climber or a creeper, some structures are common, right? So we will be learning about the structure. We will be learning about the special process. This is what I was talking about, photosynthesis. We'll learn what is photosynthesis. You all know, but little bit in detail. We will learn the equation of photosynthesis also. Then adaptations. Adaptation means the plants have different characteristics. Like the plants of desert regions, they are different. The plants, aquatic plants, they are different. They have different characteristics. Plants in mountainous regions, hilly regions, they have different features, which are in polar regions, cold regions, they have different features. So adaptation means their different characteristics based on the surrounding they are, based on the climate they are, right? Growth in plants. So they are all living organisms, plants as well as animals. They both come under the category of living organisms. So how do they grow exactly? What kind of development they have? What is their complete life cycle or process? Right? Parts of the plant's benefits. First benefit is source of food. Herbivores, carnivores, omnivores. So we all are heterotrophs. We all are dependents, right? We are depending on plants. Directly or indirectly, we are depending on plants, right? Sometimes we directly consume plants. Sometimes indirectly we are consuming. We are depending on animals. Then animals are also having food from the plants only. So indirectly or directly, we all are depending on plants. Medicinal value, so many herbs are of medicinal value, so many leaves are of medicinal value. Medicines have been prepared using plants and other uses of plants. Right? So this is what we'll be studying in this chapter. Okay, so can you see parts of a plant? Okay. So I will just use labeling and you tell me that which part will be this. Okay, I'll start with this one, this green colored part. So type in the chat box, what is this particular part that I have labeled? Please. Very good. So this structure, this green colored structure is called leaf of the plant. This is called kitchen of the plant or food factory of the plant. Have you heard this? Leaves are called food factories or kitchen of the plant. Have you heard this term? Why they are called food factories or why they are called kitchen? Because at our homes, where do we usually cook food? Where your mothers cook food? Cooking and all processing, food making, this all happens in the kitchen, isn't it? Or somewhere else? Yes, Vinny? Cooking happens in the kitchen, right? So in the plants also, leaves are the part in which actual food processing or photosynthesis is happening. That is why you can call leaf as a kitchen of the plant or food factories of the plant. Now this one, this colored one, this pink colored ones, this beautiful part. What is this beautiful part which is very attractive? Flower. Yes, Myra, Anupama. Yes, so this one is flower, very attractive part of the plant. Some flowers are very attractive, very colorful, that you just want to pluck them, right? For decoration purpose and all, we need these kind of plants with beautiful flowers. Flower not only has this color and attraction, it is also an important part because reproduction using seeds. So flowers are the part which will produce seeds and seeds will help in further reproduction. So flowers are very important. Not only they are colorful and attractive, they have one more important purpose, that is they are used for reproduction. That means growth of a new plant. They are involved in that. And what is the small brown colored one? Which is just coming brown, not, it's actually green in color, dark green in color. But yeah, bud is also important because bud is actually protecting the flower in the initial stage, right? The flower has not yet bloomed. You are all buds. You all are buds, right? You are all buds, and teachers or parents have the ability to help you in blooming. So when you become teenagers, when you become adults, you have to be you will turn into beautiful flowers if you get proper care, you get proper nourishment. So still you are in the budding stage. You all are still in the growing stage. So I will call you all buds. Usually call my children, you are all buds. And with the help of parents and teachers and your peers, you will turn into beautiful flowers. Now, what is this part, this green colored part in between? Okay, this one. What it is called? Stem. Very good, Anupama. So it is called a stem. Now, is stem having any importance? Stem is the region which you can see above the soil, right? So the plant part can be divided into two parts. One is shoot system. Shoot system we call, which is above the soil, which is visible to us. And then below the soil, you have the another system, that is root system. Okay. So shoot system is something which is growing above the soil, and root system is something which is growing below the soil. So stem has important, helps the plant to stand. Very good, Arthur. So it helps the plants to stand, right? So it gives a support to the plants. And we know stem also there are plants which possess different types of stem. Trees, woody stems. Then you have shrubs, medium sized, a little bit thick stem. Then you have herbs, very small plants, and very soft and tender stem. Then in some stems are very weak. They are not able to stand properly. So they will be coming in the category of either climbers, they will take the support of any other plant, or they will become creepers. Right? One other purpose that this stem has, it will connect with the roots. So roots are actually absorbing the minerals. These are roots, right? Roots will absorb the minerals, the nutrients, the water from the soil, but stem will connect it. So stem will have, like in our body, we have arteries, veins, blood vessels. Same stem will have vessels. So it will absorb from the roots and then it will take it to the leaves and higher regions of the plant. And in some plants, stem also possess, like green tender stems, they possess chlorophyll, as well as they also possess stomata for gases exchange. In some plants, desert plants, aloe vera plant, cactus, have you seen? The stem only performs photosynthesis because in the desert plants, what is the modification? In cactus and aloe vera, have you seen any kind of leaves? How do they look like? Have you seen a cactus plant or an aloe vera plant or any desert plant? Have you seen them? They don't have leaves, right? They have spines. That means their leaves are modified into needle-like structure. So in them, stem is very important because they have thick stem. That stem actually performs photosynthesis, right? So in desert plants, leaf does not do photosynthesis process because leaves are like needle-like structure. So all the chlorophyll pigment and the gases exchange, everything happens in the stem. So in those plants, the stem will be swollen. The stem will be thick. So in desert plants, the stem actually performs the process of photosynthesis. Yes, very good. Stem perform photosynthesis. It doesn't collect food, Arthur. It will perform photosynthesis. Like how leaves are there in the normal plants, in desert plants, stem will do the same process or same purpose. Okay, so photosynthesis will be done by the stem. So stem is also important part. And finally, we have root system. Roots are also important because roots, due to roots only, plant is able to take water from the soil. Plant is able to take nutrients, whatever nutrients are there in the soil, whatever organic matter is there in the soil, that is absorbed with the help of roots. Roots also help the plant to firmly anchor or to firmly, strongly, it, uh, I mean to say, strongly supports the plant or hold the plant in the soil. Plus one more function is there, roots prevent soil erosion. Have you heard of this term, soil erosion? Have you learned or heard this term, soil erosion, anywhere? Yes. Okay, Myra, any idea soil erosion? Is it a problem? Is it an advantage to keep and has not? So erosion means something which is removed off. So soil erosion means that top layer of the soil is removed off. It can be due to wind, right? Wind particles are blowing off the top layer. It can be due to water. It can be due to any man-made process, artificial process. So by erosion, what happens? Layer by layer, the soil particles are moved away or washed away. But it is a disadvantage or it is an environmental issue because the top layer of the soil has more nutrients or it's the fertile layer. So if the top layer is continuously washed away or eroded, the fertility of the soil will decrease. Right? Yes, very good, Manish. So the roots actually prevent soil erosion. They will hold the soil also very strongly. They will not allow the soil to be washed off. They will not allow the soil to be eroded. Is it clear? So this is a basic structure of a plant. No matter you take trees or shrubs or herbs or climbers or creepers, more or less this will be the structure. Leaf, food factory, kitchen, flower, which is helpful in reproduction, bud, which is a stage at which flowers are protected. Fourth one, stem. Stem is the part of shoot system, supports the plant properly, also performs photosynthesis. In some desert plants, it connects the roots with the higher regions of the plants. And the last one are roots. Roots support the plant, hold them properly or firmly in the soil, prevent soil erosion, helps in absorption of water and nutrients. Up to here, is it clear? Shall we proceed? Okay. Now, when you come to root system, the root system is divided into two types. One is the taproot system and the other one is fibrous root system. Now, what is the difference between these two? Have you heard of this term? Taproot system, fibrous root system. In taproot system, what happens? You have Anupama has already heard, a single large straight central root. So you have a main root in taproot system. As you can see in this picture also, in taproot system, there will be a main root in the center, or known as main root or central root. And there are so many lateral roots, smaller roots going sideways. This kind of system is for taproot system. Whereas in fibrous root system, you don't have any main root system. Right? There is no central root or no main root system. Many roots are growing out of the base and they are thinner. All of them have, no one has exceptionally thick size or something. All of them are thin and they go downwards and then branch off sideways. So in taproot, the main difference is actually the presence of a main root, taproot. And in fibrous root, you can say all of them are like fibers, thin strands of fibers like woolen fibers or silk fibers. Similarly, in fibrous root system, thin strands of roots are going downwards direction. And if you are not able to find out whether this particular plant has taproot or fibrous root system, you can check out the leaves. Now, there are mainly two categories of leaves. One is the reticulate one. Have you seen leaves like this? where one midrib will be there, and then lateral veins will be going in all the sides, something like this. So the plants which have taproot system, they'll have this kind of leaves that I have currently, just now I have drawn on the screen. This is called as reticulate venation system, where one main midrib will be there in the center and parallel veins will be going sideways. Whereas if the plant has fibrous root system, the leaves, there will be no midrib. The leaves will all be going in parallel manner, something like this. Have you seen a banana leaf? So like in taproot, you have central root. The leaves of the taproot plant also have a midrib or a main vein. So checking out the leaves. If you have some garden or some kitchen garden at your home or in your school also, you can check out the leaves. Leaves, those are like this. These leaves are called reticulate venation leaves, reticulate ones. Okay. These leaves will have taproot system, because every time it is not possible to take out the roots and check. So if reticulate venation system is there in the leaves, that means the plant will have taproot system. Whereas if the other one, there is no mid vein or mid rib present and all the veins are going parallelly, like in grass also, they will all come in fibrous root system. Tanisha, my camera is not good. Athav cannot see my screen. Athav, can you see my screen now? Is that issue is for everyone? No one is able to see my screen. Am I audible? Just give me a second.
Yes, Anjali ma'am, you are audible.
Is my screen not?
Atharv, I have unmuted you. What happened, beta? You're not. Just unmute yourself and speak.
Ma'am, is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, it's visible, Anjali.
Ma'am, I cannot see the PPT.
Better then you need to just check your network connection. Might be there's some network error at your end. Others can see. Show me thumbs up on the screen. Yeah. Atharv is having some network error. Atharv, you can do one more thing. You can just go and come back also, means just take an exit and then join this link again. Okay, that can also might be help you out.
Okay, so shall we continue? So in root system, remember one is taproot system, which have a reticulate venation system, and in fibrous root system, you have parallel venation system. Now, primary function of the root. This is something we have already discussed. Anchoring, that means supporting the plants firmly to the ground. Second one is, so these are the two important functions of root. Absorption of water and minerals. So whatever minerals you are adding, or if you're adding some manures or fertilizers, you will mix it in the water and then you add. So along with water only, they would be traveling towards the plants. So roots are the part of the plant which are actually absorbing the nutrients along with the water. So if roots are not present, then no absorption of water and minerals would take place. But along with them, they have secondary functions also. Like there are some edible roots. What are the roots which you like eating? Edible roots means which you can eat. They store food in them. Do you like any kind of root? Edible roots? No? Do you like carrots? No one like carrots. Only rabbits like carrots. Carrots, beetroot, radish, sweet potato, no? You don't like fruits. Sorry, vegetables. You don't like vegetables. No? Carrot juice. Okay, so Kirtan says at least one. No, we don't like. Okay, fine. So there are some roots that we eat, right? As salads or carrot halwa. That everyone likes. I know that. So there are edible roots, roots which store food, and we as consumers can have those food, right? Then there are aerial roots. Aerial roots means roots which are in the air, right? You can see outside. They are not below the soil. There are roots which you can see outside. So we call them as aerial roots. Then you have, mangroves. Mangroves have aerial roots. They grow out of the water or out of the soil so that they can take oxygen. Then soil conservation. Like I said, they are conserving the soil. They are preventing soil erosion. This is their secondary function. Okay, Tanisha. Fine. Okay, so these are the secondary functions or secondary important tasks of the roots. Now let us discuss a little bit about aerial roots. Some examples of aerial roots are mangroves, wild pines, orchids. It is a type of root system where the roots are growing from the stem part. And actually the root system is below the soil or below the ground, right? Root system is below the soil and shoot system is above the soil. But there are some aerial roots also. These roots have specific function. Mainly, they are for absorption of water and oxygen directly from the air. Also give the support to the plant like banyan roots and all. Crop roots or aerial roots we call. That is due to the balance so that the stem part is balanced or the below root part is also balanced. So some hanging roots are there to balance the overall stem region of the plant. So these are some categories of aerial roots. Now for food storage that right now we discussed, these are some of the common edible roots which you can see. One is conical root, that is where you can see carrots and all. They are in the shape of cone. So we call it as conical root. Then you have fusiform roots. Fusiform roots means like radish, turnip, where the roots are swollen in the middle. So here you see a swollen part and then tapered. That means the ends would be pointed. So radish is an example of fusiform root. Then you have napiform roots. In napiform roots, you have spherical at the upper end, like beetroots. Beetroot is an example of napiform root, where you have swollen bottom, upper part, and then the lower end is like a thread, or it's very thin. Yes, turnip also. Then you have tuberous root, beetroot, turnip. Tuberous root means there will be no particular structure for that root. And sometimes it will be swollen in the middle, sometimes it will be swollen at the top. So if there is no definite pattern, and then there will be some lateral roots growing nearby sweet potato. That is also an example of tuberous root. And these all are edible roots. Edible roots means excess of food will be stored in some plants, parts of the plant. It can be stored in the leaves. It can be stored in the seeds. It can be stored in the stem region. And excess food can also be stored in the root region. So wherever excess food will be stored, those parts are called edible parts. It can be edible roots, edible stem, edible leaves, edible flowers, edible fruits, right? Because plants' food requirements are less. Like animals, plants don't require that much food. So whatever food they prepare, they will use it for their energy purpose, and the remaining excess of food they will store. They can store it in any part of the plant. And those parts will become their edible parts. Okay. Then there is something called as pneumatophores. Like I discussed aerial roots. You remember? Aerial roots which grow out of the soil or out of the water. Those aerial roots are also called as pneumatophores. Right? Now, what is the purpose of these pneumatophores? Sometimes the plants which are growing in marshy area like mangroves and all, they don't get sufficient oxygen. So, their roots grow out of the soil. Same as aerial roots only. These roots are also known as pneumatophores because they grow out of the soil to get air from the atmosphere. So, another name of this particular aerial roots are pneumatophores. Yes, they breathe with roots. Of course, respiration is also possible with the roots. That is why it is also advised that roots, seeds should be sown at an appropriate depth. If you are sowing too deep into the soil, they will not get any air. They will not get any moisture. They won't be able to breathe properly. So roots also should have a proper depth, and more water should not be added to the roots, right? If you add more water, the air particles will escape out. Then breathing is not possible. So that is also advised to use minimum amount of water, or water it according to the crop or according to the season. Now, another category of roots are buttress roots. You might have seen in some trees, the roots grow all parallelly outside the soil, right? They go in a parallel lateral direction from the lower region, right? Sides of a tall or shallowly rooted tree. Now, this is known as buttress root. They are very thick. On trees, you see these kind of roots, and their role is also to provide mechanical support to the tree. The primary function of the tree. Sorry, primary function of the roots. Now, let us see the different categories of plants based on the stem. Trees. Trees are those plants which have very strong woody stem, we can say. Thick, hard, woody stem. We keep all those plants in category of trees. Then you have medium-sized plants, right? Not very thick, but still they have hard stems and they have medium size also. Trees are very tall, whereas shrubs will grow to a medium height. Those plants are called as shrubs. And then you have again very low size plants with very soft, very tender stems, very soft stems. We call those plants as herbs. Yes, Manish. So bark. Bark is the hard wooden region of the trees, right? So the presence of bark will help us to identify that this is an example of a tree. Then there are some plants which are not at all able to stand properly or to grow properly. That means their stems are very weak. With weak stem, they are not at all able to stand properly on the soil. So what these plants are called, we call them as climbers. Why we call them as climbers? As the name suggests, climbers means they will climb on some wall or some external support or some plants nearby, and with the help of those plants, they will take the support and climb up. So that is why they are called as climbers. And finally, you have creepers. Again, more weak stem, they are not able to climb also. Their fruits also might be very heavy and they are not able to bear the weight of that plant. So they will just creep or they will just grow along the ground. So these are the 5 categories. Trees, the tall ones, then you have shrubs, the medium-sized ones, then you have herbs, very low-sized one and very short in seasons. Then you have climbers. Those are weak, but still they can take the support of some other plant or a rigid wall and they can climb up. Whereas there are creepers. Those cannot climb also. Those cannot take the support of other plants also. So they have to grow along the ground. Yes, Athar. Myra, any doubt in this particular topic? Categories of stems. Yes, Athav and Myra, if you have any doubt, you can just type your doubts in the chat box. Okay, fine. Now, role of stem, we have already discussed this one. The important role of the stem is it supports the remaining shoot system of the plant. That means it will support the leaves, the flowers, and the fruits. Then it acts as a mediator. Whatever roots are carrying or absorbing, stems only act as a mediator. They will help in transportation. They will carry the water and minerals. Like heart is pumping blood, but from the heart, arteries, veins, vessels, right? Blood vessels are there. They are taking oxygen and bringing back CO2. Yes, Manish. Even if we try to give creepers a support due to the weight of the fruit, it will break. Yes, the stem of the trees are called as trunk. Yes, Adhav, you are correct. Yeah, correct, Ramesh. And finally, another important role of stem is storage of nutrients. So, like in desert plants and all, stems are swollen. swollen because they are only storing the nutrients. They are only preparing the food and storing the food in them. And in some plants, stem is also edible. Right? Edible stem. Can you give some examples of edible stem? You all are tired? So our usual class will be of 1 hour 15 minutes, 35 minutes and then 5 minutes break and then 35 minutes. Okay, potato, edible stem. So do you like eating potatoes? Yeah. Onion. Okay. So in some plants, food will be stored in stem. Those stems are called as edible stem. Shall we proceed? Now comes the most important topic, that is chlorophyll. This one was the first term which we had discussed in our introduction time. Who said this word chlorophyll? Athav, did you say chlorophyll? I forgot. Someone gave this first term chlorophyll, right? Yes, Suketan says correct. So chlorophyll is called as the green colored pigment which is present in the leaves. And this chlorophyll is responsible for what? The important function of chlorophyll is to trap sunlight. Yes, Arnav. Arnav said this word, right? So chlorophyll is only trapping the sunlight. It has the ability to trap the sunlight, convert it into chemical energy. And that is why the upper part or the upper surface of the leaf will have more chlorophyll, because upper surface of the leaf is continuously facing the light or receiving the light from the sun. And since using this chlorophyll, they are preparing the food, the leaves are also called as food factories. We call them as food factories or we call them as kitchen of the plant. And like I said, not necessary in all the plants, desert plants and all, their photosynthesis happens in the stem. So the chlorophyll content will be in the stem. In some plants, the green colored pigment is absent in less amount, or there are more red colored pigments. So even in a particular leaf, you have different color shades. We call them as variegated leaves, right? And in some, the red colored pigment or the yellow colored pigment or the white color pigment will be more present in more amount. So that doesn't mean that they are not able to do photosynthesis. There is chlorophyll pigment, but the other colored pigments are more. And that is why they just overpower the green colored one. And this chlorophyll is very important for the photosynthesis process. Yes, the thorns are actually the leaves. Very good, Manish. But the leaves are modified into thorns. That is an adaptation. Why they are modified into the thorns? Because desert plants have minimum water or they are facing water scarcity. So for that reason, they have adapted or they have modified spines or modified leaves, we can say, to reduce the amount of water loss. Now, there are some plants like mushrooms. They are not green in color. They are not autotrophs also. Because they don't have green colored pigment, they are not able to do photosynthesis. So what they do? They feed on dead and decaying organisms. So these kind of plants, we call them saprophytes. Have you heard of this term, saprophytes? Anyone? Autotrophs, have you heard? Autotrophs? No? Is it a new term for you? Autotrophs, Sukirtan? Okay. Producers, have you heard producers? Consumers? So autotrophs means producers only, right? When we talk about plants, we call them as producers. So scientifically, producers are autotrophs. Another name of producers are autotrophs. So the plants which are able to prepare their own food, we call them as autotrophs. But mushrooms and all, they feed on dead matter, like scavengers. In animals, you call them as scavengers, isn't it? So in case of plants, in case of organism, another name of scavengers is saprotrophs or saprophytes. We call them as saprotrophs or saprophytes. Yes, Arnav, you want to share something? Now you understood. So autotroph is the another name for producers, and scavengers, the other name for them is saprotrophs or saprophytes. Yes, Arnav, Myra, do you want to share something? So plants are autotrophs, green plants are autotrophs, non-green plants can be a saprotroph, saprophyte, can be parasitic plant also. Have you heard of Cascata, amabile, parasitic plant? Parasite? Yes, Arna. Parasite means some plants cannot prepare their food. So what do? They become a parasite. Parasite means like mosquito. It takes the nutrients, it sucks blood from your body. So plants also take the nutrients like that. Cascata and amarbale will start growing on some other plant and will take the nutrient from that healthy plant. We call such plants as parasitic plants. Okay. So it's not necessary that all plants are autotrophs. There are some plants which are saprotrophs. There are some plants which are parasitic plants, right? Some plants are insectivorous. They feed on insects. Right? So different type of nutrition is associated with plants. Okay. Now this is what is called as stomata. Small opening. So stomata are like opening, we can say, or tiny pores, we can say. They are small pores, very minute pores or very minute holes which are present on the surface of leaves. Now, what is the role of stomata? They allow exchange of gases mainly. They allow exchange of gases because plants undergo respiration, plants undergo photosynthesis. During photosynthesis process, they need carbon dioxide. CO2 will go into the leaf and oxygen will come out of the leaf. But during night time, they will do respiration. Like we are inhaling oxygen and we are exhaling CO2, isn't it? What we are inhaling? Yes, Anupama. So Venus flytrap is an example of insectivorous plant. Do we inhale carbon dioxide or do we inhale oxygen? What do we inhale? What do we take in? What do we take inside our body? Oxygen, right? So like human beings, we need oxygen. Plants also need oxygen. But during daytime, when they are performing photosynthesis process, they will take in CO2. And during daytime, they will give out oxygen. But during night time, they will also do the same. Like us, they will also take in oxygen. They will give out CO2. Okay, so stomata allows the exchange of gases, CO2, oxygen coming in and coming out of the leaf. The another important role of stomata is water vapor exchange. Since plants are absorbing water, right? Like how we sweat, we undergo sweating. Similarly, leaves also continuously allow the water vapor to escape. Whatever stem is absorbing that excess water is allowed to escape out into the atmosphere in the form of water vapor. So stomata also allows water vapor, escape of water vapor into the atmosphere. Okay. So stomata helps in exchange of gases, also help in removal of excess of water. Now leaf veins are there. Now there are two types of venation system. This one which is shown here is an example of reticulate venation. Reticulate venation means there will be a midrib. This middle one is a midrib, a tube-like structure, and then sideways you have many network of fine veins or thin veins going in the sideways. So whatever food is prepared by the leaves, these veins, this midrib will take it to the stem part because in the leaves, food is prepared, but food requirement is everywhere. Energy requirement is in each and every part of the plant, right? So leaves do not store the food with themselves only. They will transport the food. There are tissues, there are vessels which will take the food to the stem, which will take the food to the fruit region, to the flower region, which will take the food to the roots region, because all the parts of plant require food, right? You are taking food, your stomach, your small intestine is absorbing food, but that food or the nutrients has to reach each and every part of your body. Blood in your body takes the nutrients to each and every part, right? In plants, there is no blood or blood system, we can say. So in plants, along with the water, nutrients will travel towards all or each and every part of the plant. Is it clear? So leaf system or leaf venation is of two types. One is reticulate one and the other one is parallel venation system. Parallel means there will not be any midrib or any main vein. All of the veins are arranged parallelly. So taproot system will have reticulate venation leaf and fibrous root system will have parallel venation leaves. Yes, Arna? You want to share something regarding oxygen? Now comes the important reaction of photosynthesis. So, the process of making food in presence of sunlight and water. Plants take in CO2. CO2 means carbon dioxide. Do you know what is CO2? The chemical formula of carbon dioxide, CO2, plus water, H2O. The chemical formula of water is H2O. So CO2 and H2O. Plants will take CO2 from where they will take CO2? Yes, their white blood will help us to fight against germs. Okay, from where do the plants get CO2? From air, right? But how from the air or atmosphere the CO2 will enter inside? Yeah, CO2 is present in the atmosphere. Yes, very good, Anupama. So, through the help of stomata or through stomata, CO2 will enter. So, it is present in the atmosphere, but through stomata, through that tiny pores, CO2 will enter into the leaf. And then water. From where do they get water? Plants. From where do they receive water? From the soil. From the soil, roots are present, right? So roots help in absorption of water. So CO2 and water, they received CO2 from the stomata, from the atmosphere. Water, they got it from the roots, from the stems. Then they will get sunlight. That means photosynthesis only occur in the presence of light. So if you keep the plant in a dark room, if you keep it away from sunlight, the plant won't prepare their own food or won't do process of photosynthesis. So they require sunlight. Along with sunlight, they require one more thing, that is chlorophyll. So these are the four requirements for the photosynthesis process. First one is CO2, second one is water, then sunlight, and then chlorophyll. If these four requirements are there with the plant, these raw materials are there with the plant, then what will happen? They will do the process of photosynthesis. They will perform a chemical reaction, and then they will form a carbohydrate, which is called as glucose. Carbohydrate, glucose. And along with that, they will give out oxygen. So oxygen is a end product or a byproduct of photosynthesis. So whenever plants are performing photosynthesis, they will release oxygen. And whenever they are doing respiration, they will absorb CO2. Okay. So photosynthesis means in presence of light, with the help of chlorophyll, plants use CO2 and H2O and make glucose or make a carbohydrate, which is the actual food. Whatever requirement of plants are there, they will take the food, they will utilize the food. Excess of food or excess of the glucose is stored with the plants. Pooja ma'am, a little bit more is left, or we can just wind it up because we will complete it in the actual class. Okay. So this was just a demo, dear students. Now, since the time is already up, so this will be how we will exactly learn. So this chapter is not in one session, so it will be in 2 to 3 sessions. Okay, so we will have time.
So how was the demo, kids? Type it in the chat. Oh, nice. I can see thumbs up on the screen now after demo. Great. So type it in the chat box. Did you like it? You have to just describe this demo in one adjective. Excellent. Oh, great. Anjali ma'am, you can see your praises in the group. Nice.
Happy.
Great. Very nice. So we are glad that you liked the demo. So if you have enrolled with us, very nice, great. If not yet, I'm just pasting these few chat links once again. So go and enroll for this batch fast. Okay. You should not wait. You have seen the demo that this will be going to your class, right? So the class will be more interactive because you will not be on the mute at that time. Right? So what are you waiting for? Just enroll for this batch. Okay. Till the time. All right, everyone. We'll see you in the class. When is the class now? 15th of April. Okay, so we'll see you in the class on 15th of April. Bye bye, everyone. Take care. And I'll see you in next demo also again at 6:30 English. Okay. All right. Bye bye. Take care, everyone. Bye bye. Thank you, Angelina.
Thank you so much.